What's up, YouTube? If you don't already know who I am, my name is Mecca. This channel is called Mecca.mp4. And on this channel, it's just really a documentary or a diary, if you want to say, of my life. And I just come on here and share my thoughts and things like that. But it's been a while since I've last posted. And for that reason, is I don't really know the reason. I really feel like I really started this channel with a conviction to share my life, share my path to becoming successful, and all these ventures I'm gonna start. I mean, if you watch my other videos, they literally have like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 views combined. So if this video blows up, I definitely recommend watching those. But I started this channel with the intention of really starting to get my life together and really just fulfill my purpose in life. But I really noticed the common denominator of why I felt so stagnant, or why I feel so stagnant, and why I haven't posted and I haven't really done the things I said I was going to commit to. And the root reason is because I wasn't bringing God into my plans. I was kind of planning my own way and not including God in the mix. And this past Sunday, I had watched a sermon, and it was talking about being available for the Lord and being a vessel. And it was talking about how when Jesus was preaching to all these people, and there were so many people around him, and he wasn't going to be able to talk to everyone. So what he did is he went on Simon or Peter's boat, and then went out off the shore, and then he could speak to everyone off the shore. So there was a bigger place to talk to people. And what the pastor was talking about, he was saying that we need to be available to be used by God, right? How Peter and Simon were available, how they let Jesus board their vessel, board their being, metaphor, in order so his mission could be fulfilled, right? And it really spoke to me like, dang, I'm really not letting God use me in a way that his message and purpose will be fulfilled. And I was kind of doing my own thing. And then he went a step deeper, and he was talking about how Jesus told Simon and Peter to cast their nets into the lake. And for context, Jesus tells them to cast their nets after Peter and Simon have been working all night to catch fish. They didn't catch any fish, and they were tired and exhausted. But Jesus had told them after, boarding their boat and preaching the sermon, he said, cast your net like one more time, right? And Peter and Simon's head, it's like, oh, like we've already done this. We've been out here all day. Like, are we really going to cast again? Like, I know what's going to happen. And especially in my life, and I know, in friends' lives, but personally my life, that, sometimes we're so stubborn, or we're already thinking we know the answer because we've quote unquote done it before, done that thing before. But we've already done that thing before. And it feels like a waste to just do it again. But in Simon and Peter's case, they ended up casting their nets reluctantly, but they did it because Jesus had told them to. And once they pulled the nets back, they had so many fish. They caught fish, their nets began to break, and they were abounding with, fish in their catch. And it really just goes to show how sometimes we can think we know something because we've done it before, but this time going in with God, going in with Jesus, following his instruction, you can get a totally different result. And that's kind of how I felt, the conviction I felt, I would say, with making content, because I've always wanted to make videos. I've always wanted to make content. I've always been the guy editing, little edits on YouTube of like animes and stuff. But really just being personable and showing my own face, putting my own creative spin on things, And this time I'm going to go in with God, really have God leading me and leading this channel, and not by my own will and power of what I want to do. Because, I see these guys on YouTube, like the Iman Godzis, the Jordan Welches. And keep in mind, Jordan Welch, he's actually becoming a Christian, which is awesome. But, I would see these guys and it's like, dang, I want to make content like that. I don't really want to be, a Bible teacher, But it's like, to really be used by God for his purpose and really let him board the vessel so that you can cast your nets and do a new thing in a place that you thought was familiar. And instead of expecting the absence, you're expecting the abundance. And that's what I'm going to go in with this mindset. I'm going to go in with this channel with the Holy Spirit leading. And I encourage other people to do the same, because this really felt like spiritual warfare recording this video. I'm not going to lie, because I've made content before. I've made videos, they don't work, and it's like, am I going to do this again? And it really felt like spiritual warfare. But if there's spiritual warfare, if there's resistance in something, that's according to God's will, you're on the right track, because on the other end of that is something the devil doesn't want you to see. And that's the leap of faith I'm taking with this, with the channel, with everything. And I want to make this more of a Christian channel. I don't, at least of right now, unless God reveals it to me, I don't really see myself as a teacher. I just see myself as someone that's relatable in terms of like some of my experiences regarding business, school, things like that. Someone that's relatable, but that's also a Christian, and that can help encourage other Christian entrepreneurs, other Christians that want to pursue business, things like that. And just create a community, to be honest, because I think that's one thing that's lacking, especially with modern men as well, like a community of Christian men. I'm not saying, putting a verse in your bio and going to the gym and just being Christian like for the aesthetic, but Christian as a way to live your life. I'm sorry if you guys hear the lawn guys outside, but to really kickstart this new journey, this new path in life that I'm taking, I've actually started a challenge. It's actually called Project Motion. And basically what Project Motion entails, I'll read the description for you guys. Welcome to Project Motion. We've reached the point of no return, fellas. And now it's time to turn on the afterburners. I approximately have 312 days until I graduate college, and I need to make something shake. Wherever the starting stops, the motivational highs, we're done with that. We need something sticky. So me being spontaneous and a tad bit crazy, I've set a goal to make $100K in revenue before I walk the stage in August. If there's any time to commit, the time is now. In order to achieve this feat, I'm going to have to lay down some ground rules. And basically, the ground rules are letting God lead. And I'm super committed. I know I said I was committed before, but this time I'm actually committed. Like Project Motion, we're doing this with God this time. It's not going to be some start and stop, little motivational, 3 a.m. idea. It's really going to be a sticky idea, if that makes sense. I don't know. But yeah, Project Motion. The goal is to make 100K before I graduate in my various business ventures. If you watch my other videos, I know they only have like a couple of views or whatever. You'll know what I'm talking about in these business ventures or whatever. And I want to regularly update this channel with the journey, my spiritual journey, entrepreneurial journey, things like that. So I'm just going to let God do a new thing in a familiar place and really just let the Spirit lead the way. So once again, my name is Mecca. This channel is called Mecca.mp4. And yeah, you guys have a blessed one, and stay prayed up.